Hey guys, so I wanted to have a chance to do a quick video before I packed tomorrow night. Well, it's probably Friday now. Packed to leave for Delaware on Saturday. So I wanted to get back to you guys on the whole Nuvo glimmer paste. I know I put this on my Instagram. I don't know if I ever said anything. I might have in the last video. So I did contact Nuvo about my dried out emerald glimmer paste, the one that was unopened, and they were nice enough to have me check them all. They said something about the insert that covers the top being chipboard on the old ones, and they've recently replaced it with foam because the chipboard draws out moisture. So they sent me, out of the 4 that I had ordered, 2 of them were dried out. So I got I've received 2 replacements from them, sorry. It's been a long day. It's been a very trying day where family is concerned, and I'm losing my voice. I don't know if I'm getting sick again or what. Okay, so they sent me a new emerald green and a new blue topaz. And I didn't get a chance to use the stencils from Altenew yet. I did briefly use I forgot what this one was called. Brush strokes, maybe? Sketch lines, duh. It's right there in front of me, guys. I used the blue topaz on that to try it out, but I haven't done anything with that yet. Also, I had a small order from Catherine Pooler because the hexagon Hex Marks the Spot stamp set had come back in from being out of stock, so I bought that. And I was concentrating so much on the hexagons, I didn't even notice that it came with small sentiments. Hello, happy birthday to you, thanks, congrats, and from me. I also picked up the Twisted Sunburst stencil and the 2 Grass Skirt and Fiesta Blue. So now I have the complete starter party collection: Orange Twist, Rock and Red, Fiesta Blue, and Grass Skirt, along with my mini set, these inks here, and that one was separate. So I'm starting to build my collection, but before I might buy a couple more colors. Oh, also have these, which you guys of course saw. And peppermint scrub, is that what it's called? But I want to buy a complimentary lighter pink to go with the peppermint scrub. And then of course the larger version of Aquatini, because I won that one in the giveaway, the YouTube Save the Crafty YouTubers giveaway. I won Aquatini and Orange Twist. Alright, so that's my collection of Catherine Pooler inks so far. And my little mini haul. Mini haul. Alright, now on to today's video. Today we're going to be concentrating on this watercolor doodles stamp set. As you can see, I've used it. Now, at first, until I opened the stamp set, this just looked like one of the regular inserts, but it actually opens. And this has scissors, a scissors line around it illustrated, and I'm guessing you could use that if you wanted for a card front. There's that one on one side and this one on the other side. And then, of course, how to use the stamps, care and storage. And then, in case you are interested, it gives you the colors of the Altenew inks they used in those 2 pictures. But on the back, it gives you a layering guide of how to layer these. And they're meant to kind of be offset. So that one kind of matches up pretty well when you stamp it out. This one kind of offsets from the leaves. And it's not the way you stamp it. It actually is meant to not stamp directly on the leaves. I've tried to line it up. It does not. They don't all line up perfectly because they're not meant to. It's supposed to look like blobs of watercolor. So, you know, if you can see, I've had fun playing with this. I wanted to do a quick card with you guys. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So far, I have made this guy here. And I did that one with just the leaves stamp. And this background here is a combination of Lime Ricky and Tiara, but they kind of blended together. And it's also not ink smushing. It is using the Brutus Monroe watercolor background stamp, and that's what we're going to use on this card. I did do some ink smushing. I'll show you my examples here. There's this one with Seafoam and Spruce from Catherine Pooler Inks, but I didn't like the way I started to do like a up direction with my leaves, and it didn't work out, so that goes in the Give to Riley pile. And then I did one with Carved Pumpkin, Distress Oxide, and Candied Apple, and I liked the background that this came out with, but this one was going good until I added that leaves stamp in the background, and then I don't know. I was thinking about ways I could fix it. Right now it just looks like a hot mess, so we're not going to use that. But this one turned out good. So the leaves were stamped out with Spruce and then stamped on with Seafoam, both in Catherine Pooler inks. And this one is more cartoony looking, if you will. This was done on watercolor paper. This one's done on Bristol. And I stamped out the flowers and leaves in black VersaFine Nocturne Clair ink. And then stamped out the watercolor blobs in Flirty Fuchsia, Lime Ricky, and Grass Skirt. And I like the way this one turned out. And that hello was cut out of an alcohol ink background. And then this one was also on watercolor paper. The kids like this one the best. This was the first one I did. I'm trying to describe how I felt when I did this. When I stamped this out, and I used Juniper Mist and Seafoam and Spruce, and I think that's a little bit of a Tiki Torch in there. I wanted it to look more like it was spread out watercolor, so I tried squirting it with my distress sprayer. And I didn't like how it smeared up there. It looked more like a smear than it did watercolor. But I did complete the card, finished it. There's a thanks cut out of a blue shimmery cardstock on there. And then some Nouveau drops in Gray Mist, Morning Dew. Not Gray Mist. It was Gray Mist and Morning Dew. I put both on there. So that's the third one. Then we have this guy here who started out, I wanted him to be a tone on tone, but I did end up adding some color. So there's that Brutus Monroe watercolor background again. Then I stamped out the blue flowers with Something Borrowed. No. Yes, Something Borrowed. The background was done in... What's that one I just got? Oh my God, you guys. I'm losing it here. Fiesta Blue. Background was stamped out in Fiesta Blue. And the flower blobs were stamped out with Something Borrowed, which comes in my minis. And then I used Seafoam on the leaves, which you can't really tell because of the blue underneath, and some Tiara for the little tiny flowers. And I like the way that turned out. I popped it up on some foam tape, and the background or the card is Fog by Simon Says Stamp. And I also cut it out with my wonky rectangle die from stitch die from Simon Says Stamp. And the hello was cut out of like an aqua or turquoise mirrored cardstock, just a 6x6 pad from Joann's. And I like the way this one turned out. But I wanted to show you guys that it could also be used for sympathy cards, since I'm trying to, do more sympathy cards. And I made this one. And this one was ink smushed background with Juniper Mist and Stone Blue. And then I stamped out all the flowers with Juniper Mist, and then filled in the blobs with Juniper Mist and Seafoam Green for the leaves. And I got that sentiment from a Simon Says Stamp set. It came in a kit, I think October's kit, with the alcohol lift ink with Sympathy and Love, because I don't have very many sympathy sentiments, and I knew I did have one somewhere, so I dug it out and stamped that right in the center with more of the Juniper Mist. And that's just flat on the card, another Fog card base from Simon Says Stamp. Alright, let's get started before we turn this into another video that's like an hour long. So I already have my Misty all set up with the watercolor background stamp from Brutus Monroe. And if you're wondering, I think I might have showed you guys, I bought this stamp on clearance, in their clearance items. I think I paid like $6 for it. And I wanted to do a cheerful card again and not go with the sympathy. I'll do more sympathy cards, but I wanted this one to be cheerful. So I think we're gonna go with a pink background this time. Actually, let's do Tutti Frutti. There's a different color. Now, when I did the background on this card here, I stamped it out, and it was very set. I don't know. It, of course, looked like a watercolor background because that's what the stamp is, but it didn't look free-flowing, if you know what I'm talking about, like an actual watercolor background would. So what I did was stamped it out a second time, put the ink on the stamp, sprayed it with a couple spritz of water, and then stamped it out again. So I think I'm going to do that again here and see if it comes out the same way it did before, because I really like that look. And this is a piece of 140-pound watercolor paper. I'm not sure the brand. I'll have to bend over and underneath the desk and take a look. So I'm very excited to be going on this trip to Delaware. I really need it. I am so sick of drama. I'm very upset that drama followed me to my social media pages, especially since I'm relying heavily on them for people to come look at when I'm applying for design teams. So I answered said family member today and then deleted it. I deleted it because I didn't want it on my page, my Instagram page, but I also deleted it because when I get upset, like I did today, let's just set the scene. Hubby came home and told me about something somebody had to say, and of course they put my name in it even though I wasn't involved. So the person I put a specific post up on Instagram saying this, this, and this. And I haven't been feeling well, and I spent a long time at the doctor with Jax today, the eye doctor. And I came home and I laid down and took a nap. And I woke up from my nap to a lengthy, nasty response. So of course, I was so upset. I wake up and that's the first thing I see, so I respond. And of course, when I respond, right away the nastiness comes out and I start swearing and getting upset. So that was the second reason I erased it, because I can't be swearing on my social media pages. I'm just venting, guys. Sorry. I know you don't even have the first clue what I'm talking about. It's just frustrating. Okay. I'm going to wipe up some of this before it stains my... I think I showed you guys this, but I took a piece of the Misty graph paper and laminated it for such occasions as these. Whoa! Did you guys see that? Of course you saw that. That was a little scary. Totally forgot that the tip of my heat tool is magnetic. That belongs on a blooper reel. Sure does. Alright, that's probably going to need another minute or two, but I want to get it out of the Misty. So we'll clean up this mess while we wait for that to dry. So I don't know if you guys have any plans for this weekend. I hope the weather's nice in Delaware because I plan on leaving early Saturday. Early Saturday, so that by the time I get to Delaware, I still have time to check into the hotel and to make an hour drive to the beach. I mean, I'm sure there's beaches closer to where I am than an hour, but I'd like to actually be on the ocean instead of in the bay, if that makes any sense, if that's what it's called, as a bay. So I'm gonna make that drive, and I also plan on going on Sunday after the stencil class. That's how I'm gonna spend my afternoon, because I'm not heading home until early Monday morning. I'm excited to take the drive in the new car though. I'm very excited. It'll be one of only 2 trips, at least that's the way we plan it, that will be taken in the new car. We're going to be using rentals. After we go to Myrtle Beach this summer, we'll be using rentals for our other vacations, because we really beat the van up using it for all our vacations. Put a lot of miles on it. It held up, but it had a lot of miles on it. And I don't want to do that again. Alright, let's put that sucker away and see if this background is dry. Excuse me for a minute, guys. Alright, and I think we're going to cut this out with the wonky stitch die again, like I did on the other card, just because it's handy. And I don't have to go digging while you guys are sitting there waiting for me. So let's line up where we want it. Works for me. Be right back, guys. I want to show you guys, I was messing around with the Deco Foil transfer gel. I used a Studio Katia stencil that I had bought last year that I haven't used yet, and I figured it'd be a good time to try it out. So I used that transfer gel on there with that spatula I bought, and that spatula worked really good. I'm happy with it. It seemed like it was the perfect size. And then I followed the directions and used some Gina K foil that was left over from a kit, and that's what we got. So I'm excited to turn that into a little card. All right, back to our current project. This one always leaves edges on my little like straight edges on the border of that die when I cut it out. I had to be very careful with those. That one actually gave me, that die gave me a sliver once. I don't know if it was from the die or from the precision plate that I have on my Big Kick, but man, did that sucker hurt. Has anybody ever gotten a metal sliver before? Those suckers don't play around, man. They're no joke. All right. Now we're gonna stamp. I'm not gonna use the Missy for this. It doesn't really require a lot of restamping, especially if you're using the Catherine Pooler inks. And I think because we went with the Tutti Frutti, we're gonna actually use some red and orange. To fill in the flower colors. I think we'll actually try out to stamp out the flowers themselves with the Tutti Frutti. Let's see how that works out. I think we're going to start with this little guy here. Excuse me. Now, if you've worked with the Catherine Pooler inks, you know you don't need to press hard onto the pad. Oh, you can see it, but you can just barely see it, so maybe I'll put one in each corner on this one and then switch to a darker color. Yeah, we'll need a darker color for that. Okay. Let's try the red. Yeah, that works a little better. I'm just gonna do a kind of stay along the edge of the cardstock. I said that weird, didn't I? Just gonna go all the way around with this same stamp, excuse me. You don't have to put the whole stamp on there. You can switch it around to give it angles. And actually, I don't know if I want to go all the way around with this one. So we'll put another one right here. Kind of cover up that one that blended into the background. Just need to wet my chamois a little bit here. It's wet, but it's not all the way wet. So don't forget about the giveaway, guys. You have until Sunday at midnight, this coming Sunday, before I close the giveaway, and I'll be picking the winner sometime next week. Maybe the day after I get back from my trip. Let's pick this guy here. All right. The nice thing about this stamp is you don't have to use the whole thing. You can put it in there at an angle and just use part of it. And they really do look like doodles. I love this stamp set. So I just did the very tips of the flowers there. And I think I'm going to come in a little bit further on this side, and then we're going to leave it for a sentiment. I can't wait to be able to do videos and edit so I can show you guys and not have to rush, you know. That's, oh, we already used him. That's my problem with this, is having to rush all the time. Maybe we'll just go in with a couple small leaves. I think that's it. Now we gotta do the blobs. I don't know if I want to do the blobs in red though. I think we're gonna try yellow, like the tiki torch yellowish color. And if that doesn't show up, maybe try the orange. And it does show up. It's light. I don't know if you guys can see that. But you can see some color there. You'll definitely be able to see that. And like I said, they're just blobs of color, so they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be lined up exactly. Can't remember if I did this one, guys. Let's see if we go over them again, if we can get the color to pop a little bit more. Dan's on overnights this week, so it was real easy to be able to do a video. I'm like, oh, he's gone, let's do a video. Alright, now we're going to switch off to the little teeny tiny flower colors. Let's go with, we'll go with red for those. Go. Keep dropping my chamois. And then for the taller, teeny tiny flowers, we'll go with orange. See if that shows up. And it actually does. It shows up as like a variation of the orange. Probably should have done a different color background. Maybe, you know what would have looked nice? A yellow background. I think I'm going to try that before I put this stuff away. And I will post a picture on Instagram for you guys of the yellow watercolor background. The more I say it, the more it sounds like it's going to be super pretty. Alright, now all that's left is the leaves. Let's try the Lime Ricky first because it's a lighter green. Where's this green? Okay, let's do that with the darker green. Yep, that's it for that one. Now I just gotta go in there with a teeny tiny flower or leaf and do the little leaves. Let's see, we're almost done here, guys. There was one little leaf I missed. Here he is right here. Alright, that's it. I don't know if I like that green, the darker green. I think if I had it to do over again, I would probably use a different color. But I'm not going to trash the whole card just because I don't like that green. I already did that twice. Besides, we're doing a video here. Alright, let me just move this stuff out of the way. Wow, lots of loud noises for you guys tonight. Now, I did have a whole bunch of sentiments I cut out. I'll show you in a minute. We're going to pop this up on foam tape. Quick and easy. I want to start doing more videos now that I'm getting down to the wire and almost having all my pictures printed and off my phone. Get into the habit of making more videos, and then you guys will still have something to watch while I'm working on learning how to edit, because once I get that editing software, I'm gonna have to teach myself how to edit, you guys. So I still gotta come up with some quick videos. You guys have something to watch while I'm working on editing until I get the hang of it. So I'm just gonna pop that up on foam tape. And I forgot all about my sentiment. Oh, we're gonna glue one on, that's why. I decided in my head that we were going to glue a die cut sentiment out. So we're just gonna pop this up. This is just a piece of Nina 110 pound that I invested in after I got some advice from Mary Polanco about I've been having a hard time finding the best paper to color on with Copics, and I'm heavy-handed when it comes to blending the Copics, so, and she was right. So far for me, out of everything I've tried, the 110 pound of Nina seems to hold up the best, but I bought some so I could have some card bases too. Okay, so there's the card, and let's pick out a sentiment. Now, I was going through my alcohol inked backgrounds when I was making a whole bunch last week, and I found some rainbow that I had cut fairies out of from an Hero Arts kit, and I thought those would be cool as sentiments. Isn't that cool, you guys? So we did thanks, awesome, believe, and hello before I ran out of rainbow alcohol inked Yupo. But I don't like it on there, so we're not going to use that. Maybe this one with the more orangey. It kind of blends into the background. All right, let's see what we got here. We've got Crafty Friends. Where'd you go? I got a whole bunch of pre-cut sentiments here. I like to cut them so that when I go places like this weekend, I have some sentiments that I can use on cards that I can just glue right on when I'm making cards in the hotel room. We've got thanks. Awesome. I think we've got get well in here. Get well, but that kind of blends in as well. Here's a green awesome. But you are awesome. We don't have an orange hello or a green hello. That blends in too much. What about this purple one? Eh. Alright. Oh, you know what? I got some more. Look at this, guys. I've got tons and tons, but these are mostly blue. I think we're going to go with this thanks right here. I think that goes good with the card. So we're just going to add some. Normally I would make this thicker, but because I'm doing this on a video with you guys, we're just going to glue this sucker right on there. And I'm just going to use my Zig 2-way glue pen. Because it's fairly quick. And it's permanent if you stick it on there while the glue is still wet. Anybody who has this pen knows if you stick it on there after the glue has dried and become tacky, it's not permanent any longer. It is repositionable or temporary. So you want to make sure if you're using this for something you want to stay there, that your glue is wet before you stick it down. Sometimes I feel stupid, like you guys all know that already, but hey, there could be some of you out there who've never used it before and don't know. Alright, so I'm going to put that in the mostly white spot so it'll draw more attention to the sentiment. And I'm just going to stick a block on there. And that's it, guys. I'm going to end this video now before it gets any longer because I talked for 10 minutes. I got to stop doing that. Stop talking before I show you guys stuff. I got to talk while I do it so that it doesn't make the video too long. I will try to put another video out tomorrow, but I'm not going to make any promises because I'll be packing. And actually, by the time you see this, I'll be driving. Maybe. No, I'm posting it tomorrow. Whatever. Alright, you see how easily I confuse myself, guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I will update you on my trip. And have fun. Hope for warm weather, guys. Bye-bye.